I mean, there's going to be one last chance for Crystal Palace. Jefferson Lerma is going to launch this ball into the box from a deep throw-in. Richards up, Lacroix's up, Mateta's there, Nketiah, Gueye. Wow, defend this. You've got to remember, Konate's off the pitch. It's a long throw. Flit. Will Hughes keeps it alive. It's fallen through. Nketiah! Unbelievable! Hey, who said old school throw-ins have gone out the window? No, he's flicked on at the front post. Eddie Nketiah brings it down onto his chest. Left foot, rocket spin to the back of the net. He had an opportunity with his head early on. Game over, 2-1 Crystal Palace. It certainly is the biggest test of the season, Simon. 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
What an amazing moment for the former Arsenal man. Eddie Nketiah has grabbed the winner at Selhurst Park in the dying moments, and just as Liverpool had hauled themselves back into it with another late show, it's Palace with the late show today, and it looks like they're going to equal that club record of 18 games unbeaten, but they won't care about that. They'll care about the fact that they have made it 2 wins out of 2 against Liverpool this season. Remember, winners on penalties in the Community Shield way back in August, and they have hit the front in the 97th minute at Selhurst Park. A long throw into the box, and Eddie Nketiah from the flick on, able eventually to put it in the back of the net. Just wondering if we're going to look at a possible offside, but I think it is going to be tight. It is going to be tight.
Oh, yeah, he's onside.
He's on. He has to be on. Surely they're not going to go to VAR on that one. Crystal Palace leading Liverpool by 2-1. Still waiting for not Simon, he was the Chelsea man, still hoping for Chris Kavanagh to blow the full-time whistle. Eddie Nketiah looking on at the moment, looking at the referee to see if that whistle's going to be blown. There might be a check, Dorse, by the look of it. He looked onside. He's confident
this is so tight. So there's a couple of phases in it. It's flicked on at the front post. Then it's headed out to Will Hughes. He keeps it alive. He puts it back into the box. And I don't know if it's Mateta, someone else flicks it on, and it's that second flick that he might just be onside. Gravenberch might be the one that's playing up. I mean, but take nothing away from this finish when it comes into his chest. He takes it away from the defender, and all in one motion with his left foot. Lovely strike through Alisson's legs. Chris Kavanagh. Mike, over to you. Do you think it's onside? It's tight. It's so tight.
I mean, will you have an automated offside? It'll be quicker than what it normally would be, but it's a goal.
Goal! 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
You was going to say goal, weren't you, Mike?
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at the fact of the scoreline. No. But you were doing that.
Yeah.
You were doing that.
You know, straight there. Sorry.
Well on.
Yeah, well on. Gravenberch is left-hand field.
See the image.
Game over. What a game of football. 2-1 Crystal Palace. Brilliant.
Paul, it was a performance that deserved 3 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the first half we had multiple chances. I think obviously there's not many teams that can create that much against Liverpool, so credit to us. And yeah, I think it was thoroughly deserved the 3 points, so happy to be able to help and contribute.
What do you think the key was to creating so many chances against a team like Liverpool, as you say?
Yeah, I think we're just hard to play against. You know, we got a nice, resilient group. Obviously, we work together, and we got threats and talent up front and in midfield. So we know we're gonna hurt any team we play against. And today it all clicked for us, and thankfully we were able to get the 3 points.
And as you showed, although you don't want to be there, real strength off the bench as well today.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, everyone's fighting for positions. We all want to play. We all want to contribute. So whether I get 5, 10, 15, 90, I'm always going to try and contribute and give the best to the team.
You're the last unbeaten team in the Premier League now. Do you feel you're onto something here? Do you feel there's something special happening this season?
Yeah, we're just going to take it one game at a time. Obviously, like I said, we've got a really good group. We achieved a lot last season and started really well this season. So we want to keep pushing and want to try and bring more success to this club for the fans.
Well done today.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
A reminder, Crystal Palace are 12 unbeaten in the Premier League for the first time in their history. But did you think when Chiesa, and after a big forensic views, goal stood, that Liverpool somehow were going to get something out of it?
Definitely. Definitely. We all know that Liverpool finish games very well. They have done this season, and they finished this game well. So a bitter pill to swallow conceding in injury time. They know how it feels to score in injury time. Now they know how it feels to concede. But it was a lovely ball in, this was. Just floated in. Mo Salah goes up, might flick his arm. That's what VAR were looking at. Hard to be conclusive, and he was getting pulled back at the time. Because it wasn't conclusive, I think they let it go, and Chiesa, as many times when you hit one in the corner, you tend to scuff it in there, but he's starting to make an impact off the bench, and definitely Liverpool would have thought that's at least our unbeaten run continuing, even if it was only 1 point, but Palace had other ideas.
Yeah, that's his second goal off the bench as a Premier League substitute this season. Talking of which, enter Eddie Nketiah. He's only ever scored 3 times in the Premier League in a Palace shirt. What a moment for him personally as well as the team this was.
Yeah, but we know how good this Crystal Palace team is on set pieces. Long throw. Can you win the first one? Can you get the flick? Can you win the second one? Will Hughes does brilliantly, and then Gahey wins that one, and it's a great finish. And that's what Nketiah said it there. They're hard to play against. They make it difficult. Look, you got to win these second balls. You win one there, and then you win that one. That little flick. He's onside, and Nketiah, great little chest and great finish.
Frimpong didn't know where he was. He got the wrong side of him. Do you know, in the lead up to it, Don Hutchison said in commentary, but Kirk has had an opportunity to not give that throw-in away. They shouldn't be given a set-piece in the last seconds of the game. Could have cleared it with his right foot. He lets it run across his body and then swings it out for a throw-in. Really frustrating. It was avoidable, that goal, and Arne Slot won't be happy with that.
Yeah, pleased to report that Oliver Glasner's hamstring is absolutely fine as well.
He didn't know where he was going, did he?
After that celebration, no. He needed a sat-nav at the end of that. Liverpool, did they struggle physically at times defensively today for you?
Well, I don't know whether it was tiredness. I mean, they rested a fair few players in midweek in the Carabao Cup.
Well, they weren't their usual selves, were they?
They weren't their usual selves, but whether you can blame it on tiredness or anything, we are early in the season. I mean, I'd be hesitant to blame it on that. I mean, Konate in the first half didn't know what he was doing. And I can't say that was because of rustiness or tiredness or anything else like that. We've seen one or two performances from him this season that have been quite similar. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use that excuse. I would definitely give praise to Crystal Palace. They're a proper team. They're not, I mean, you mentioned how many games they've gone unbeaten. They beat Liverpool, obviously, early in the season, the Community Shield. It wasn't a fluke. So I would be more inclined to say Palace played particularly well.
And probably Arsenal on the team flight or just arriving at the team hotel on Tyneside at the moment ahead of that game at Newcastle tomorrow. What a fillip that is for them.
Steve, that's the best feeling. Do you know when you see rivals lose on the way to the game tomorrow? So they'll be absolutely buzzing with that. And to be fair, Liverpool weren't at their best.
Saturday, 10 Eastern window. Elsewhere, Manchester City putting Burnley to the sword in the second half, beating them by 5-1. Chelsea have lost at home, going off to a chorus of boos at the Bridge. Brighton beating them 3-1. There's confirmation of Palace beating Liverpool, and it was 2-2 between Leeds United and Bournemouth. And in the early game, Brentford beat Manchester United today by 3-1. Tim Howard, let's have a look, shall we, at Eddie Nketiah's winner. Came in the dying second from the long throw.
Yeah, you're just hoping to get the long throw in because you always want to get the bits off of it, and they do. It's a good header there. He settles it well on his chest. He knows what he wants to do. He's just trying to get it onto that left foot. And again, we just get a look at it. Liverpool aren't able to get up off that initial header. And just here, Gravenberch's left foot keeps him on. But that first touch, it's a really good, solid volley. We know how good Alisson is and was all day. You get a good look there. Just barely onside, but that touch for me sets this up. It's a really fantastic strike.
And Tim, it's why the managers get paid the big bucks, as we see here on its lot. Not happy at all with that fourth official, because when Eddie Nketiah came on, a few of us in the studio were thinking, why has he put Eddie Nketiah on when it's 1-1? Why has he not made it a bit more defensive?
Well, that's right. And if you want to put Eddie Nketiah on, for sure you take Mateta off. But he saw that. He liked the energy. His energy was really good. And for small moments like that, Eddie Nketiah can produce.
Now, Robbie, we have seen this film so many times when the big boys like Liverpool come back and get either the equaliser or the winner. And today it looked like 7 out of the last 8 games they'd scored 83rd minute or later at either a winner or equaliser. Happened again today, and we thought, oh, that's the story.
And that's why you have to give credit to Oliver Glasner, who kept going, who was positive and has got the goal. It's a goal that damages Liverpool, that 5 straight wins, couldn't turn it into 6, but doesn't half give some hope to the chasing pack. And by the way, leading the chasing pack is Crystal Palace, who now sits second in the Premier League, based on beating the champions. So it was a day when Palace wouldn't take the narrative, when Palace kept going, when actually Palace, in terms of shots and chances, were the better team. We thought at 1-1 Liverpool have come back and maybe that's it, we're waiting for the late goal. Absolutely unbelievable scenes from Crystal Palace.
Especially in that first half, Tim. Liverpool looked so out of sorts today.
Yeah, and they were getting picked apart, if I'm being honest. Palace was playing... I don't think they get enough credit, if I'm being honest, because Palace sells a lot. Brighton has this great reputation of selling and bringing players through. Palace have done a brilliant job of balancing that squad so they can continue to compete after last year's success.
So,
welcome back. As things stand, Crystal Palace are second in the Premier League. They lead the leaders, Liverpool, remember, with that 100% record by 1-0. We'll see the goal, Michael, but then we'll point out it could have been a lot more than 1 goal for Palace.
Yeah, I think Arne Slot will be in the dressing room now thanking his lucky stars. It's only 1 and Liverpool are still in the game. I mean, Liverpool contributed to their own downfall with possibly, arguably, their best player of the season so far, heading it back into the 6-yard box for Sarr to swivel and fire them ahead. But as I say, after that, it could have been many, many more. But this is a poor header from Gravenberch, Owen.
Yeah, to be fair, he gets bumped by Gahey, which is a bit ironic because obviously Liverpool came in for him. But Crystal Palace are brilliant on set pieces. They attack that back post. To be fair, I don't know I've ever seen Liverpool outplayed that much. Crystal Palace could be up 4 or 5. They've been absolutely magnificent.
As if we needed reminding, have we just seen in that first half the magnitude of Alisson sometimes in that Liverpool goal?
Well, if Liverpool do manage to salvage something out of this game, then they will certainly say it's down to him. And this is why he is the best, if not one of the best in the world. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's brave, he's courageous, he guesses right a lot of the time. I think he had it in his mind there that the ball was going back into that corner, so he starts shifting his feet in the meantime. Konate's had a real tough first half, but his goalkeeper's pulled him out multiple times. And when he didn't pull him out, the woodwork helped him. But no, he's been top class, Steve.
Do you know, Mo, we were joking about earlier about keepers getting out of the way. He's always in the way.
Yeah.
He literally saves everything. He's brilliant. He's got strong hands. He makes every save possible. Obviously, Mateta's unlucky there. He could have had a hat-trick, Mateta, but Glasner, what a job he's done with this group
That'll
of
be
players.
his only frustration that they're 1-0 up, as crazy as it sounds.
Steve, it should have been 3 or 4. The thing is, and we said about Liverpool before, with the late goals, they'll be back. Don't question that at all.
I mean, he's had some fantastic situations on a slot as Liverpool manager, but is this one of his biggest Premier League half-time team talks here?
Well, sometimes you can be 1-0 down and you're still sort of in control of the game. You still feel as if you're playing well, but at the moment, if things continue like this, there's only going to go one way. It's going to go 2-0 and 3-0. So he has to change something, which he doesn't have to normally do. Now, Gakpo is sitting there. He's been one of Liverpool's most improved players over the last season or so. Probably can feel himself hard done not to be playing. He sat there, he can make a change. Obviously, Nketiah is out suspended, so he's not really got loads of options. Young Ungamoa on the...
Oh, get him on, he's brilliant.
He's a game changer. But it won't happen straight away. I think he'll give time for them to change things, let's say, with the players he's got first and then start making changes later on.
Arno, what are your initial thoughts on that result and the performance?
Very, very difficult first half for us. They did really well. Deserved to be 1 goal up. I think we were even lucky that it was only 1-0. Second half performance was maybe a bit the opposite. I think we had enough chances to score. Took a while before we scored one, and when we scored one, there was only a few minutes left. You think it's going to be a draw, but from their second set piece, they won the game.
Both their goals came from set pieces in a way. Was that a bit of a concern?
Yeah, that's what I said. So for the second goal they scored from a set, wasn't the second set piece, but if you wanna compete, if you wanna be right up there, you need a very positive balance in set pieces. That's what I always say for years, and in this league, that's probably even more the situation. So that was one of our biggest strengths last season. We hardly conceded set piece. Now against Newcastle we conceded 2, and today we conceded 2. So that's something we need to do better. But this league is more and more about set pieces. So we had to defend a lot of them as well. And then the margins are small. One of our players in the last minute runs forward, maybe to try to counter-attack for a second goal. But in that area the ball falls for a Crystal Palace player who scores.
In the first half in particular, you needed Alisson really to keep the scores down. What was it that you feel caused you so much trouble from the way Palace attacked?
Their game plan. It's a team that their game style, their way they play fits really well to their players. So they go to a low block. Their counter attack is a big threat with the fast players they have and the target man they have with Mateta. And if we try to press them, they are very good in playing the balls in behind the last line. We had a lot of problems with that in the first half. A lot. 4 or 5 chances we gave away, which is a lot. And for the rest of the time, we had ball possessions, playing the ball from right to left, but it's so hard to play through that low block. It's even more harder if they're already 1-0 up.
Yeah, it looked like a day when...
And next to come for Liverpool, Galatasaray away in the Champions League. Next with Manchester United at home in the Premier League. Listen, it's their first defeat of the season. They had a wonderful start. A lot of people felt at some point those late goals and being less than convincing that the luck would run out at some point. Nothing to worry about at the moment. But in terms of things he needs to fix, in terms of getting all these amazing parts functioning at their very best, what's his biggest area of concern right now?
Oh, well, defensively, you look at the opportunity that he's giving up, and you see the scoreline today, 2-1. It could have been more to Crystal Palace. It could, obviously, two set pieces. Obviously, the second one was the second phase from Eddie Nketiah late on, but the first one will be really disappointing. I mean, that's just an individual error. He's just got the head wrong and it's gone back into the 6-yard box. That can happen, but when it keeps happening, people keep questioning why. It's not like they're not working, but what it brings enormous amount of pressure. So every set piece, it's like, oh my word, anxiety goes through, you switch off for a second, then it's another goal. And we've seen it too many times this season with Liverpool. We've always talked about how good they are going forward. Today I didn't really see that. I don't think they were great. And I think he was very honest there. Crystal Palace were the better of the two teams and they got the just rewards.
And two of the goals you'll be able to see are 2 goals from Crystal Palace that have continued that extraordinary unbeaten run. It's now 18 in all competitions for Oliver Glasner's side, but they have beaten the champions by 2-1 at Selhurst Park. The 100% record is over. Eddie Nketiah, the hero right at the end in the 97th minute, scoring from a long throw-in. Palace 2, Liverpool 1. Here is the goal-scoring winner.
Eddie, an incredible finish there. When it came to you, was that exactly what you knew you were going to do?
Yeah, well, I just tried to stay calm. Obviously, it's a nice flick on, good first touch and nice finish, so happy with it.
And the scenes at the end as well. I mean, the scenes after the goal, but then at full time. Have you known anything like that here before?
Yeah, I think that's what our fans are known for, creating a great atmosphere. I think it just shows the togetherness of the group, Obviously, anyone that's not playing want to come on and make an impact and help the team, and the boys that are playing are fighting and really strong. So it's a good, solid 3 points.
When Liverpool got the equaliser, did you think that was the moment gone?
No, I think we always keep believing. There was still time to play, so I just knew, obviously, the man just said, stay calm, you're going to get a situation, and thankfully I was able to do that and score.
And overall, it was a performance that deserved 3 points, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the first half we had multiple chances. I think obviously there's not many teams that can create that much against Liverpool, so credit to us. And I think it was probably deserved the 3 points, so happy to be able to help and contribute.
What do you think the key was to creating so many chances against a team like Liverpool, as you say?
Yeah, I think we're just hard to play against. We've got a nice, resilient group. Obviously, we work together, and we've got threats and talent up front and in midfield. So we know we're going to hurt any team we play against. And today it all clicked for us, and thankfully we were able to get the 3 points.
And as you showed, although you don't want to be there, real strength off the bench as well today.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, everyone's fighting for positions. We all want to play. We all want to contribute. So whether I get 5, 10, 15, 90, I'm always going to try and contribute and give the best to the team.
You're the last unbeaten team in the Premier League now. Do you feel you're onto something here? Do you feel there's something special happening this season?
Yeah, we're just going to take it one game at a time. Obviously, like I said, we've got a really good group. We achieved a lot last season and started really well this season. So we want to keep pushing and want to try and bring more success to this club for the fans.
Dorse, these are heady days for Crystal Palace. Not just this amazing run, but they sit second in the Premier League ahead of the games to come this evening and, of course, Super Sunday tomorrow. I mean, they were well worth that win as well. We knew it was going to be a massive test for Liverpool, and it's a test that Liverpool, at times, couldn't live with.
They couldn't, and credit to Crystal Palace. We spoke about them early on in the show, and the togetherness and resilience that they show together. And I think it just shows second in the Premier League, 3 points behind Liverpool. And you can go all the way back to last season and what they achieved, winning an FA Cup. Start of this season, winning the Community Shield against Liverpool, and it just brings massive belief. And they're in European footballers having to deal with that midweek, Saturdays, midweek again, because they haven't got the biggest of squads. But I tell you what, they've got some real talent in that team, and players, obviously Sarr coming back in and getting his goal. Pino, 2 in middle of the park. Adam Wharton, wow, this boy is special. Got
he's
brought off.
Something else, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still getting back to fitness, but he just plays with a calmness and experienced head, plays forward whenever he can. Kamada next to him, unbelievable as well. I just can't compliment this Crystal Palace team enough from back to front. Mateta holding the ball up, physicality, creating chances. Unfortunately for him, he didn't get a goal today, but he brought numerous saves out of Alisson. And if it wasn't for Alisson in the first half, they could have been out of sight. I mean, the first goal came from a really poor defending from Liverpool, in swinging corner. Gravenberch gets it all wrong. He's at the back post, should clear it away, heads it back towards, and Sarr scores the goal. But they had opportunities. And this was Premier League at its best. As a pundit sat here watching football on a Saturday afternoon, it doesn't get much better. Honestly, it was a great game of football, 2 top teams. and Liverpool chucked the kitchen sink out at the end, and just when they got back to 1-1, I thought, here we go, it's going to be one winner. But Palace kept going, 90 plus 7 minutes, they get the goal, and that's where Arne Slot was going mad, and those Liverpool players, because there was 6 minutes of time added on, scored 97.
He can't complain about that. There's so many late goals so far this season, but that atmosphere at the end, and we know how rocking that stadium can be. But you don't often see scenes like that where minutes after a Premier League game in September is finished, it's like a cup final.
Well,
you can understand why. That's
I mean, Palace were unbeaten for a long time, and they wanted to keep this going. This was against a Liverpool team who'd won 5 out of 5, and people are saying, they're not quite at the level we would expect, and I would agree with that. I mean, his team selection, Arne Slot, would be questionable in my opinion. No Gakpo on the left. In the first half, it was so narrow. Florian Wirtz, unfortunately, at this moment in time, hasn't got to the level that we expected. And certainly, me and I'm a big,
there's some
big
growing
fan of
question marks over him. It's still early. He's still adjusting to the Premier League. But are the question marks growing for you?
I mean, look, we're 6 games into the Premier League. He cost an awful lot of money. He's still very, very young, and we know how demanding the Premier League can be. But it was just a fact when I saw the team sheet and there was no Gakpo, they were so tight, it was so compact, and it was pretty easy for Crystal Palace to get down that right-hand side under Muniz, and he had an opportunity. Alisson again. Crystal Palace, second in the Premier League. Well done, you guys.
And how would you assess overall Isak's afternoon? Gets his first Premier League start. Overall disappointing?
Yes, he probably played more minutes than we would have expected. Rio Ungamoa came on with 10 minutes plus time added on, if that. So they got 80 plus minutes from Isak. He would never, ever have played that. He had a header opportunity that he probably should do better with. He looked a little bit frustrated. We saw a little bit of glance where McAllister played a top-class ball in and he gets it stuck under his feet and pushes past the post. Fine margins. He's still got to find connections with his teammates, but I'm taking nothing away from this Crystal Palace team. They were absolutely sensational today.